a boy-girl romantic way of, I mean romantic dance as in there is a romance around how two individuals somehow think something so similar and are at the same wavelength. I thought that what if the girl sings it? What if the girl wants the guy? What if the girl says that she wants to hang with me? What a beautiful world is. I want to live in that world, right? Or how can I aura farm for my hero, you know? And this is my interpretation of aura farming for that one character. Writing is very inspiring. For a filmmaker to sign on to it and to believe in it and to go ahead and let me do something that I want to do, it is just his confidence in his writing, you know. I have been hired not for my music, you know. There will be people that probably will make, hopefully not, but there will be people that will make music that is better than me. Common love in music for a lot of people, so that brings us together, our musical taste. Some people will watch it like they are seeing this, or they are seeing the melody or the instrumentation or so many things. For me, I think what trumps everything is the idea of the song, the philosophy behind what me and Aditya are trying to say. Like say music is hobby for a lot of people, like right, I don't know what would that be for a musician. It is just like a break for me, you know.
Mritu towels from Ramraj, premium cotton and bamboo towels. Super soft, super absorbent.
Let's go holidays. Travel beyond boundaries.
We Care Super Shield 100 Ultra defends broad spectrum sunscreen with 100 SPF. Buy now.
Hello, Shashwat Sachdev, and welcome to 20 Minutes with Shashwat Sachdev. so happy to meet you because the songs of Dhurandhar have personally been very, after a long time, an action movie had such fantastic music that was, so in sync with the film and stood out as songs themselves. When Aditya Dhar met you, what were the words that he used to describe Dhurandhar?
See, when, I was hired or approached for my first feature film ever by whoever, everybody wants to make the most iconic, path-breaking, important work of their lives through me or through every other artist on that team, you know. So obviously the idea of doing anything is that, is this going to be the most iconic thing of our lives? And if not, let's try to make that, you know. So that obviously is always the case with everybody. But with Aditya, I think one thing which is special is that his writing is very inspiring. He's writing something where the dialogues, actually he's also not just a great writer, he's also a very good dialogue writer. So they are so inspiring that they are telling you a story in a language, like a lot of times you would read these scripts that have English dialogues, you know. And so you are reading something, but the characters are talking in a world where you would not talk in English, and then you somehow don't commit to that world or the aesthetics of the realm that the writer or the creator is telling. And then you're just learning the story. Here, he writes so well that I think that does most of the talking. Mm-hmm. It tells you what it wants, you know. He's done his job by just writing that text. And then if it inspires me and takes me in a direction, I think a lot of that credit, besides, I don't know, my preparation, is also his writing, that it is so inspiring, you know. And then as a leader, he's so inspiring. Like if you will meet other artists that have worked with him, whether they are actors or they are, whether it, actually to most of the people that end up working with him are people that are really good friends with him. So friends will always say great things about friends, but everybody will tell you that he is a very confident leader. And when I say that, that means that he's so confident of his team. Mm-hmm. And that somehow, and then he's so confident about himself and his text and what he's written, that beyond that, it just becomes about coming together and hanging together and spending the time on that material to see how can you elevate the written text that he's already done. And I think that everybody unanimously does on things that he's done. Like say 370, and he was producing 370, and while he was producing 370, I think he was also writing Dhurandhar, but on 370, I don't know if I was trying to do something that only I could envision and hear in the film, you know. It had only Indian classical music, and the score was also so... The whole score of 370 is based on Chopin, and all the licks that I kind of have loved along the way and some chords. But for a filmmaker to sign on to it and to believe in it and to go ahead and let me do something that I want to do, it is just his confidence in his writing, you know, in his text, that he's written something so foolproof that beyond that there is very little possibility of, you know, not following a particular, because वो इतना inspiring already है कि आप वो ही करोगे, वो वहाँ पे there are very few things that will... Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Am I able to articulate?
Yeah. So the primary emotion that I had when I heard the soundtrack of Dhurandhar was that this sounds like a rock concert, and there was some anger in it. Because the thing is, even when I listen to an all-woman song like Sharat, there's like some guitar shredding and all that kind of stuff happening there. So what was your state of mind when you entered Aditya's world?
See, guitar shredding there is because I really like Vishal Bharadwaj, should I say Vishal sir's work. And so he did a song, like guitars have, because of Clinton sir arranging most of his work, like I've been growing up listening to them, they have, guitar is a very important part of his arrangements. I think that is where it came through. I think so, but I'm surprised that you noticed that. But beyond that, you know, I think most of the times I want to get out of the way of what a film wants to say and what I want to say, and then effortlessly express, if that makes any sense, and then see if my director or my collaborators kind of vibe to it or not. And so in first place, when I'm making anything, I don't want to intellectualize it and just effortlessly express on my interpretation of what my director wants to say. And I always believe that, you know, I have been hired not for my music, you know. There will be people that probably will make, hopefully not, but there will be people that will make music that is better than me. And there will be people that will be able to articulate shit better than me in musical language. There will be people that will be saying things that are better than what I want to say. There will be people that will be more in tune to what the people want to hear, so that probably will work harder. But I know that I have my primary reason of the reason why I have been hired is for my interpretation of the text that the director has written. And my duty, my first and foremost duty is on how well have I interpreted it, because I have been hired not to interpret it like how the director wrote it. I hope you get that, right?
Yeah.
This is my interpretation of his text.
Yeah.
And where I can take this story now and how I interpret that world. And mostly, you know, and a lot of times you are interpreting it in a way where even the filmmaker has not interpreted it like that, you know?
Yeah.
The editor hasn't interpreted it like that. And this is my interpretation of it.
Yeah.
And this is how I see it. And now you tell me. And then I don't want to come in between of intellectualizing it and like, then I'm just effortlessly trying to tell, okay, intuitively, this is how I want to go. And most of the time, that is the way, unless a director has a clear vision on where he wants to take the film and the music or
soundtrack, yeah.
So in Aditya's case, you know, he clearly just wanted me to interpret it the way I wanted to. And he collaborated with me not just as a director, you know. He also collaborated with me as a musician. He collaborated with me as a friend, as a family, as a brother. Because then you are in that close proximity, just so thick. And you are just trying to tell that one same story. And then it is just a little that is also very, divine, the way you connect all of the team in telling that story, like the way an editor connects to a cinematographer, who connects to a DOP, or a choreographer who connects to, which is this invisible thread of everybody trying to tell that one complicated story.
Sure.
And everybody just really knows what everybody else is going for. Even if they don't want to say it like that, they still know what the other guy is going for. So yeah, we were just, hanging together and trying to express what, for me, the idea was what it means for me to love.
Right.
For me, I was trying to tell how would my interpretation of Ranveer's love, or let's put it that way.
This was Gehra Hua.
Correct. Ki how I interpret, or how can I aura farm for my hero, And this is my interpretation of aura farming for that one character. I was telling Yami the other day, like quite some time ago though, that, we were playing some music and I was saying that, what I expect from this film. This is quite a long time ago, actually. 2 years ago, I was telling her that, what I expect is that when the film comes out, I want people to dress up like this and have this hairstyle. And I want this music to play and I want them to make a reel. If that is possible, that's when I've aura farmed for Ranveer on this film. Hamza.
Right.
That then I know everybody is willing to take that leap of faith of being in a country that you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Being of a religion you were not born with, but still you love your character or the music around it or the world that we've built so much that they're still willing to take that leap of faith and still make a reel around it and be that person. And that is what true victory is. So I am not trying to think of it intellectually. I'm just trying to express his story,
Sure.
I don't know. It's
It makes sense.
a lot of words for something not that important, I think.
You're very self-deprecating for someone who speaks so well. But anyway, when I want to know how you and Aditya formed this musical idea together, and for that I will choose a song where Ranveer enters Pakistan from Afghanistan, and in that you also have a remix of you bring in an older song from a qawwali from Barsat Ki Ek Raat. Roshan Saab's Qawwali. So how did that entire texture of that song happen?
That song, see, every day is a beautiful story if you tell it in an interesting way.
Yeah.
It could be a very mundane day. If I tell the story in a very interesting way, it is a very interesting story. But for us, it was, I think, just a regular day of trying to figure out what song to make. But now I'm
not trying to romanticize this.
Yeah,
I'm just asking about pure hardcore process.
I'm telling you now, the way I'm going to tell it, it will be romanticized and it will become pretty interesting.
Okay.
But what I want to land here is that everything that we did, besides this one song that I'm now going to talk about, was kind of they have their own magical stories of, how random people or random words or random ideas came together in a random fashion, in random sequence for words to make that would otherwise make completely meaningless sentence or a meaningless group or an obscure group. But somehow you do it, and because this is the magic, as they say, of cinema. It somehow lands together in that pot and make a random words will be put together to make a meaningful sentence. Random people will come together to make a very powerful group, So this song is also like that, very random. Shehzad, I know for quite some time and I really love. We have common love in music for a lot of people, so that brings us together, our musical taste. He comes from Rajasthan, so also I think he comes from Sikar Gharana. He has the same musical lineage as I do. So I think that also kind of brings us together, because if I'm singing something, Gharana se, what I mean is not so strict, but what happens is that when you are learning through a particular lineage, you learn you learn a few particular way you sing that particular raga, or you learn few particular compositions, that are specific to that lineage. That is called as a Gharana, So we are kind of like, if I will tell him to sing that, he just already knows that
Yeah.
khayal or that tarana for whatever. So that brings us very, very close. And the rest of the song is just so obscure, you know. The idea was that we decided that one day, I don't know why, Aditya decided that he wanted the track to be approximately around 115 BPM. And so did Ojas, who's editing the trailer at that point, because he cut it in a certain tempo, you know. And Ojas comes with his own, you know, inherent intuitiveness of how things flow for him in edit. And intuition is an education you can't question, you know, because intuition is not right or wrong. So you can't question it. So now Ojas is running at 114, 115. And I just somehow was convinced that it has to be 117. And so we were just going back and forth on those 3 BPMs for like 2-3 days. And Aditya is mostly the veto on what he wants. And he's also never saying whether he likes this or that. He vetoes, like, okay, you guys decide, whatever you like, I'm okay with. So we were just going back and forth, and we had that one thing, that one idea of, and then one day he called me and I wouldn't answer in like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and he called Magic, and Magic brought me the phone that Shah.
Magic's your wife, yeah.
Magic is my wife, yeah. And she got me my phone and said that Dhar has called. Something important, just talk to him. And I was like, I hope everything is okay. And so Dhar was like, bro, I have this best idea of the day. And I was just in the gym, and you know what? I know you just put that Qawwali on it. I'm telling you, it's going to be beautiful. What do you think? And I was like, bro, fuck, I'm sorry. We can beep it, right? Bro, this is such a great idea. Let me just come. And then, you know, I was just taking a shower and just running towards him, and I called Shehzad. And we get in that room, in his home, because we were working from a studio inside his home, his office and his home. And we called Shehzad, and I was just losing all confidence in Shehzad. And he just sat there like such a authoritative leader, telling everybody that, bro, now if this song lands, it will only land with Shehzad. I'm sitting here, Shehzad, go for it. And that gave Shehzad this, you know, infectious confidence. And so Shehzad also just somehow just started going very beautifully. And then we were thinking of what the lyric will be for na na. So we were brainstorming with Irshad sir that day. All this is happening in, I'd say, 12 or 13 hours. Since we made that track at night, then I came back home and slept for 2-3 hours, and now I'm back at his place again, and it's like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening, maybe 6 o'clock in the evening, and Irshad sir was there, and he said that, you know, I really like this one line, "Main ishq jalakar aa gaya." Can you sing it, Shah? Can you sing it like that? Aditya said. And I just really liked that, the way, you know, how, you know, comedy has a particular timing. You don't say it in the right timing or in the right tempo. I don't know if it lands. I think Catharsis also has a particular timing. Like, when I say Catharsis, I mean when you truly land what you want to say and it hits somebody else. So he said it with a certain timing and a certain way, that when he said, both the times in fact, you know, in the morning when he said that I want to do this, there is another story to why he wanted it there, you know. And then I was like, bhai, this is beautiful. Ki main ishq jalakar aa gaya. Now because I'd like people to see where he's coming from and where he's going in Dhurandhar 2. But that just worked so well with me. It sat, and then we wrote all the rest of the song around Ishq Jalakar Aa Gaya. And the idea, that day I told him, I told him people will love what I did on the song. But I don't know if they will know your participation or a director's participation in it, Because a musician will for sure, like, some people will watch it like Niza ga re za, niza ga ma ba ga ma ga re, niza ga re. They are seeing this, or they are seeing the melody or the instrumentation or so many things. But for me, I think what trumps everything is the idea of the song, the philosophy behind what me and Aditya are trying to say. And he's such a masterful collaborator.
Right.
That I wish I could tell all the stories behind the whole album on things that I didn't want on the album and he fought for. Because after we made some stuff, he just really fought like it was his own,
Yeah.
And I was desperate to take them off the album. And there were things that I desperately wanted and he fought me for not having those on one and having that on two or whatever. So I just feel that this is a romantic dance that two collaborators do.
Right.
When I say romantic, I don't mean it in a boy-girl romantic way of, I mean romantic dance as in there is a romance around how two individuals somehow think something so similar and are at the same wavelength in a particular moment. And then I think my only job, and I really mean it, is to protect that idea, protect that magic, because there is some substantial magic in the air at that moment, which is either coming through speakers or in the conversation. If it's in the conversation, my idea is to build that magic or say it in a musical form, translate that magic, but now in notes.
Right.
Or if it's already there, then I just don't touch it, My job is to not come in between and just let it breathe.
Right.
And I think that's the only thing I did.
Okay. So the time is up.
Okay.
So you're going in a good flow, but let me just quickly ask you the last question, which is texturally, tonally, compositionally, where are you taking Dhurandhar to? I don't want you to, obviously you can't tell me the whole
Sir,
thing.
I would request one thing. We should do that last question, but something else and not Dhurandhar 2. I'll tell you why.
Okay, what should we talk about?
I'll tell you. I'll answer this and then we'll go to the next question. The reason is, if I have to put words to a particular melody on what I want to do, I don't know if the melody did its job,
That's a beautiful way of looking at it.
So I think let people hear. So I was trying very hard to not even talk about the science behind why the song sounds the way it does when you spoke about Ishq Jalakar. Because I told you that there was a story behind why that melody. But I think that is a magician's trick,
Right.
And I would say magic is my wife.
Fine, I get that. Just tell me something then about my favorite song in the soundtrack, which is Sharat.
Sharat is a very special song for us. I can tell you a few things about Sharat that I really like. I can talk about Sharat, something that I was very interested in. So basically, I grew up, like I always carry this baggage of being born in a third world country, in a two-tier city, to a middle class or a lower middle class family. And at that level, in a country with such terrible sex ratio, your chances of having a beautiful girlfriend with these are very, very little. And so when I was growing up, I would always feel like I wish, like, when you go to these weddings and when you go to these functions, family functions, you'll see, and you'd feel like most of these songs are men singing it for women they like in the party. And I found that pretty imposing, for lack of a better word, for a man. And I always wish I were that boy that a girl would sing for, in a party. What if I was like a tall, good-looking, really rich boy and the girl would, like, I don't want to say it like that because then it's politically incorrect that the girls are, maybe the girls that I was hanging
you
with.
are perfectly entitled to your idea of something.
But I don't want to say it like that, that the girls are looking for like richer
it's
men.
your
I mean
fantasy, yeah.
I mean it that not just rich or the middle class of it, but also just the world that we are in. I think it entitles men to want women so much that it is somehow not that romantic, you know. So I thought that what if the girl sings it? What if the girl wants the guy? What if the girl says that she wants to hang with me? What a beautiful world is. I want to live in that world, right? So me and Jasmine were trying to write something together. And initially, you know, the lyrics of the song were were supposed to be written by Kumar sir. And he's a very old collaborator of mine. He's a friend, philosopher, guide to me in so many things that I do, you know. And he was, that day we had to send the song for a shoot mix, and just he was not, I think he was traveling to Chennai or something. And so Aditya was like, Shah, this is a lip sync and we need it like now or tomorrow. And so Jasmine was there and she was like, Shah, we'll just do some rough stuff and maybe later Kumar sir can replace it. But then we ended up writing something, ended up getting shot, and then we could not just replace it at all. And the idea behind what me and Jasmine wanted to say in that song was that the girl says that मैं कच्ची कली हूँ, मेरा ऐसा चेहरा है, मेरी नीयत कैसी है, बट पर्दे के पीछे तो मैं भी नॉटी हूँ, and मैं भी बहुत शरारती हूँ. And when the girl says it with that wink, I think it somehow satisfies the boy in me who is that two-tier boy from a third world country who feels that I also am wanted, or there are people that would like to seduce me as well. And so that was the idea when we were making. I don't know if that makes any sense.
That makes complete sense.
In Dhurandhar, and I don't know if Aditya knows about it, but that's what I was going for, you know.
No, and it makes complete sense because when I saw the movie, at first you just hear the song, but when I saw the movie, I didn't know much about this Sarah Arjun character that what she was playing, and it turns out that at first she comes across like this silly rich princess kind of a thing, but slowly she moves into a zone which you don't expect her to.
And she wants him, you know.
Yeah.
That's what really inspired me in the script.
And that is very, that's reflected.
How special is it, you know? That you come from a world, like for an unknown world, like Ranveer is coming in a world where he's like maybe a Baloch. And Ranveer is in a world where he's maybe a Baloch. He's not very rich. He doesn't have anything to say or add to her life. But she still loves him. And that is also very, I think it's personally my story as well, you know, where I'm coming from and how I've lived. So that generally, you know, things like these somehow, I don't know if I'm trying to tell my own story because I want to be honest to my filmmaker and be honest to the text. But somehow I think, you know, I'm being paid honestly only for my interpretation. So this was my interpretation of it, I'd say.
It will, see, music is coming from inside you, you know, so your interpretation has to take some kind of autobiographical route. It may not be the exact story, but there is something personal in what you're expressing.
I love that you called it autobiographical, and I'm also very petrified of it because, you know, eventually I feel like I'm still a pen trying to just be used by a director to tell his story, and he can do whatever he wants to do, you know. So a pen will not write his story, you know, a pen will eventually be just using. So I'd say this is my ink, you know. This is me just writing in blue color.
And I'm saying that ink is basically a blood.
Yes, correct. And you know, you mentioned that you found it to be, you found the music of Sharat to be fun and to be peppy and to be, I think that is Jasmine. Because I can't talk about the song without Jasmine.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to take that 1 minute and also talk about how prolific an artist she is. And I just wished I just wish I would have not made that song that quick, and we spent more time in the studio trying to crack it, because hanging with her is such a I'd say, like, I don't know what would you like, say music is hobby for a lot of people, like, right? I don't know what would that be for a musician. It is just like a break for me, hanging with somebody that interesting, hanging with somebody that naughty, hanging with a friend, hanging with a poetess, hanging with a great singer, hanging with somebody who knows her folk so well, hanging with somebody who knows the hip hop culture so well. So she is also this amalgamation of such different, things put together, which actually should be making a very meaningless sentence, but with her it makes something so iconic. So I really like that about her. We've had our differences and creative differences and things that we didn't align on a lot of times, but Sharat, she gets a lot of credit. We would not have, Dhar wouldn't have a song if Jasmine wouldn't have written it with me that night, that quick, and how quick she is on her feet. And the best part of that song was how Jasmine interacts with Madhubanti, And for me, Madhubanti is truly the most underrated Indian singer. Because as a singer, जिसे गवैया बोला जाता है, जिसे रियाजी एक साधक बोलते हैं ना, साधना करते हैं सवेरे उठ के, मधुबंती वैसी ही टैलेंट है. मधुबंती, I go to her, I call her very regularly if I have confusion on how the rag would flip if I change a note, and what is she singing in that rag and what she likes. She's so knowledgeable on it. She comes from Calcutta. She's gone to like one of the most elite Indian classical schools in the world, studied there so seriously. And so when she came in and she did her thing, and then all three of us were like just hanging together, that was also very fun. So maybe that fun comes through a little bit.
Yeah.
That, and another thing that I really think that really is very iconic about that song, and this is just my conversation on collaboration, or having, I think it comes from Dhar, Aditya, because he is so open to
Right.
ideas that when I'm working with them, even I open up. So we had the whole song ready, we finished everything by like, say, 8 o'clock in the morning. We had everything, like Jasmine had written it, she had sung it, Madhubanti had come in at night, or maybe in morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock, she came in, she sang her thing. We danced on it, Jasmine danced on it. The duo, Jasmine and Madhubanti, danced on it together. Then they made me dance with them. And then we called Magic into the room to show her that, okay, we are going in this direction, what do you think? And Aditya asked me that, Shah, we need like a hook, like a motif that either can be a leitmotif from the rest of the film, or maybe it could be just like particular to the song. So Magic was like, Shah, what is that motif? So I told her that, in a song like this, the hook could be the motif, no? Na 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 na. Yeah, and so she said, no, that's the chorus of the song. And maybe the hook and the chorus are two different things. Then what is that hooky motif? I'm telling you, you should add it. And you know what? You should refer to that one song. And that sound. Can you play me these sounds? I'm going to tell you. And she came back to the studio, in fact, with me at 8:30 in the morning. And she like was adamant that, I really need that one tone. And in 70s or 80s or 90s, late 70s, santoor was used quite a lot. And she couldn't just articulate what she wanted. So she was like, okay, what we'll do is you just play all the tones you have. They must be like 500. Okay, you just go one after. I'll tell you what tone to. Then you make me a motif in that. So now I was like spending time like just changing presets on my synthesizer. And she was like, that, what is that? I was like, that is santoor. This is very cringe. She was like, no, Shah, that's a hit. You go for it. And so I played it there. And I don't know now. People like appreciate a lot of things that happen in a film, But I truly believe that it is truly divine to work with people that you want to hang with, you know, you want to live with. It is divine when good vibes and good people just come together to tell or to say something that has been written so well. And it is just a matter of destiny or fortune on my end. And I really believe it, that people really liked it. And a little bit of it is also I have great taste in people that I hang with.
You do, including the people that interview you, I think.
That's true.
I'm kidding.
Yes,
but
I agree.
No, I'm
you
kidding.
know, I want to say it on camera. I've told this to you, you know. Some of my dear friends have really loved a lot of your work. And when my management was like approached by you, Magic was insisting on the fact that Shah, he's such a senior journalist. You know, he doesn't want to talk to you because he's a journalist. You need to talk to him because he's such a senior journalist. You know, we will learn something from this meeting. And yeah, I'm telling you, I have great taste.
Thank you so much. And thank you for talking about something that is, because music is the most abstract of all the arts. So it is very difficult for many people to put into words what goes through them when they create. So I think you did a wonderful job of doing that. Thank you for that. Thank you for Dhurandhar, and can't wait for Dhurandhar 2.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for taking the time.
Mritu towels from Ramraj, premium cotton and bamboo towels. Super soft, super absorbent.
Let's go holidays. Travel beyond boundaries.
We Care Super Shield 100 Ultra defends broad spectrum sunscreen with 100 SPF. Buy now.